Hi folks, this week on Trigger Effect we've got a really exciting episode. We're doing a joint venture between Fowl Play Outfitters, Trigger Effect, and the Wild Sheep Society of Alberta. What we're doing is we're trying to promote youth hunting as well as raising money for conservation for wild sheep. So what we're doing is we arrived late last night and we came in and it was late, it was a long trip. We woke up this morning, we did some scouting, we've tied up some really good fields. Claude has one field tomorrow for those youth that is going to be fantastic, but tonight we're going to get a jump start on these kids because we heard they're sharpshooters and us old guys, you know, we're off a little bit. Joining me this week I have Kent Michie, myself, we have Jason Bellows from Westside Stores, we got good old Drake who's going to actually do all the hard work. So make sure you stay tuned, you will not want to miss this episode because promoting youth in the outdoors is the #1 thing on all of our minds.
They just picked up my Alberta game bird license. I've got my federal duck stamp from Manitoba. It works Canada-wide, obviously. And Claude's just in getting some final touches on some properties that we're going to be hunting.
And now, introducing our youth hunters and cameraman.
Hi, I'm Dale Malin and I'm from Red Deer, Alberta.
I'm Jack Sapila and I'm from Lacombe, Alberta.
I'm James Anderson and I'm from Red Deer, Alberta.
I'm Hunter Brewster and I'm from Red Deer, Alberta.
Hi, I'm Denver Trumbley from Falkland, British Columbia.
Guys, the most important part, besides, well, safety is the #1 concern of the whole hunt. #1 safety, #2 the blinds. These blinds were going to be invisible, okay? I'm going to show you guys how to, these blinds all have straps in them. We're going to take the straw and roll nice and tight.
Well, we met with everybody this morning at Tim Hortons, so what we're doing right now is Claude is kind of directing everybody as to how the decoy setup's going to be, where we're going to put the blinds. This is the field yesterday that we scouted that we saw hundreds of bird eye. I think it's going to be a great shoot.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good shoot. We got a lot of young guys here up early in the morning. They're hustling their tails. I think we're going to have a great shoot today. It's a little bit overcast. We've got a little bit of a drizzle, but it's not going to affect anything, but it's going to make the shooting a lot better. So.
I think the big thing we got to do is see if we can keep up with these young guys and maybe knock down some more birds.
Yeah, they look a little hungry to shoot, so let's go get set up and we'll get back to the action here in the daylight.
Sounds good.
Make sure you come back for some more hunting action with Trigger Effect after this commercial break. Welcome back to Trigger Effect.
Take out! Straight! Take them now! That camera's got that red light flashing. I hope it didn't freeze your teeth. Straight! Come back.
That was a hard one to hold off if they're right in there. Hunter got one, no,
One more time. Take him, boy, take him! Here, Jake. Handle up. Deal. Come on, buddy. Bird out. Bird out. Out. Take him!
No, I hit one.
Big block.
This week's Outfitter Profile.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your outfit?
Well, I just moved to Red Deer 3-4 years ago, and I was an outfitter down south in the Brooks area for many years. I said I better get back into it, but I've I've designated one target, and it's youth and family shoots. That's all I want to do. So at donated banquets, as such as the one we just did with the Sheep Foundation, and families. We have to pay back to those kids. It's our future.
You bet. They are the future of our sport. And I tell you what, the quality of hunt that you provide and what we experience today, I can see this lasting a long, long time. I just want to thank you again. You do a wonderful job. You run a first-rate operation, and I'm coming back. And I hope we can bring more youth back.
You are invited back, and we'll make plans, and we're going to have another good one.
You bet. Sounds great.
Great.
The 6 are coming in low and to the right.
Ready. Take him now! Oh, nice!
Good shoot.
Take off!
One hit. Oh, shell.
Take him now! Take him now! Now let's pick up. Put your safety on.
Bringing science to the hunt is brought to you by Lone Wolf Taxidermy.
This week on Bringing Science to the Hunt, I'd like to broach the subject of hearing loss and the importance of hearing protection. Excessive noise exposure is one of the leading causes of hearing loss. The tiny hair cells in the inner ear are easily damaged by loud noise, and once you lose them, they never grow back. Gunfire noise levels range between 156 to 164 decibels. To put this in perspective, a jackhammer is 130, a space rocket blasting off is 140, and a clap of thunder is 120. So when hunting Canada geese like co-host Kent Michie and myself are doing in this episode, our ears are exposed to multiple gunshot blasts with noise levels exceeding 160 decibels. As a matter of fact, hunting or shooting sportsmen experiencing some degree of hearing loss is 4 times more common than the average population. Some sources estimate that 80% of shooting sportsmen have some degree of hearing impairment. On Trigger Effect, our co-hosts and pro staff do a ton of shooting. It is for this reason we started to work with Claude Bateau, who is not just an outfitter, but his wife, Roxanne, and him run Southern Ear, which offers a variety of hearing protection devices custom-made to fit you and function in a shooting or hunting environment. One evening, Claude made myself, Kent, and Jason a pair of earplugs with built-in dampening devices for shooting. I will admit in the past I was like most hunters and didn't use anything, and I have paid for that now as I do have some minor hearing loss. However, we at Trigger Effect are now working with Claude and Southern Ear to spread the word and start getting all outdoors people who enjoy the hunting and shooting sports to start protecting the valuable resource such as your hearing. Because once it's damaged, it is permanent. Go to Trigger Effect's website at www.triggereffect.tv and get Southern Ear's contact information and order your pair today. Now let's get back to some great Canada Goose hunting action with Trigger Effect.
Light down. Light down. Take him now, no. Let that go. Damn it.
That was me. I was on safe.
Make sure you come back for some more hunting action with Trigger Effect after this commercial break. Welcome back to Trigger Effect.
Now, boys.
what a lot of people don't realize is that actually this hunt here was also to raise funds for conservation for the Wild Sheep Society of Alberta. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about that, Reg.
Sure, that happened. We have our annual banquet every March here in Red Deer. We also have one in Edson, 2 big banquets in Alberta. And I approached Claude and asked him if he'd be interested in wanting to possibly donate a youth hunt, because our mission is youth and youth hunting. So we had the auction in March and in Red Deer, and we had over 650 people, probably raised over $130,000 gross that night. And Dale Malin from the Sportsman Den bought this hunt, and he actually had a contest in his store of all the youth that were coming in saying, hey, I've got an opportunity if you want to join this hunt. We're going to take some youth, and you have an opportunity to be on TV, which is even so cool.
Well, that's excellent. And I mean, I know we're really honored to be a part of this whole thing. We should make sure to thank Dale. I noticed you mentioned it, you know, on top of buying the hunt and donating that money, you know, for the good cause. You know, he was out here helping and bringing kids back and forth to the field and helping set up decoys, everything like that. So again, you know, it's a great cause, and we're honored to be a part of it.
Yeah. And us as well. We had a lot of fun, and as I said earlier, we were watching the hunt happen from, you know, the trucks. And we were just having a hoot, saying, yeah, come on in, hit the deck, you know.
Yeah, no.
So it was really good, and the kids did awesome, you know. So I just can't say enough about taking kids out, especially for that first time. That plants the seed for life.
Yeah, and I know it's important to me. I mean, I'm a father of 5 kids, and actually I should mention that not only do we have youth hunters here, but one of the things we thought at Trigger Effect would be pretty cool is I brought my son Denver, who's only 13 years old, and we threw him behind a camera. So, you know, throughout the show, you're going to see, you know, obviously the professional cameraman stuff and the Denver cam. So I think that'll be kind of neat too. But thanks again. And, you know, hopefully we get a chance to do this again.
Dean, my pleasure as well.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, we've just kind of wrapped up here the first little session. We've shot quite a few geese, got lots of ducks first thing this morning. We're just doing a quick pickup because got a lot of these birds showing bellies, so it's kind of, geese are coming in, it's kind of spooking them off. So we're just going to kind of clean up a little bit, get them all sorted, and then get back in our blinds and get some more.
No! We're in the 2. Take the 2.
You having fun?
Yeah.
You like this goose hunting or what?
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
Everybody's guns unloaded and safe.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Let's go.
It's been a crazy shoot. We've just had raft after raft, flocks averaging between anywhere from 2 birds up to a dozen birds. We got another raft coming in right now. So let's get back to the shooting.
No. Oh, right in the banana.
Stay tuned for more Trigger Effect after this commercial break. Welcome back to Trigger Effect.
I don't see any kids smiling anymore.
I'm smiling. I'm not a kid.
They're like, holy crow, this old boy is serious about this stuff.
Beautiful. What's that one right there? Okay. And there's more coming. Reload. Lock and load right there. Oh. Yeah. He ain't going far, he's done. Watch him. Get him, Bridgie. Get him, Bridgie. Awesome, boys!
Well, Claude, I really want to thank you again one more time for all that you've offered us and the youth especially. The hunt you provided here today was unbelievable. We hunted about an hour and a half today. And what was the number of birds we got today?
We got 58 geese and 43 ducks. And the kids shot most of the birds.
They shot probably 80% of the birds. I mean, we were busy filming, we were laughing, we were having a great time. Kids were safe. They're dead shots, these kids. They were knocking birds out of the sky. It was so much fun today.
And they were so safe. That was the number one issue. We had a safety deal before the shoot. They listened and they paid attention because they were always safe. Every time someone got out of the blind, the safeties were on, the guns were unloaded. It was a pleasure to see the boys enjoy it, and we enjoyed it just watching them.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, they're great sportsmen. They're great ambassadors for the youth in this field and in this sport. And I want to hunt with them again, and especially with you, Claude.
Well, let's make her happen.
All right. Thank you.
Well, what can I say, folks? That was an absolutely incredible shoot. The birds started flying first light. We had waves of ducks, waves of geese. These boys were just knocking them down left and right. One thing that really impressed me, they're great ambassadors of the sport. Their safety was on, their shooting was on. They were knocking them down from off the barrel to 50 yards out, putting them down. It was an incredible hunt.
Sure was. And you know what? We can't forget Claude from Fowl Play and Reg from the Wild Sheep Society. I want to thank you both. You've been wonderful hosts. And Drake, he's fell asleep. He's been retrieving birds all day. He's done a great job. And guys, you've just impressed the heck out of us. We would hunt with you again anytime.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.